Alright guys, so this isn't my typical video, but in my last video, I talked about how you can set up your dating life, and in the tail end of that video, I talked about how you can set up an online dating profile that will get you a lot of high quality matches. I went over some of my results and, what I was able to get with my matches, and I got a message, a private message after, about that video that, that whole online dating wouldn't work for somebody who is short. And this video isn't here to disprove that. I already talked about the alternatives that you can do if you are short and like how you can leverage real life skills, but I was still curious to see how much do you get nerfed if you are short. And so I came up with this experiment. I will increase my height on my online dating profile by 2 inches to 6'1". I will let my profile run for 5 days, and each day I will like 5 people. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause my account. I'm going to change my height to 5'7", and then run my profile again for 5 days. By the end of it, we'll get the total when I was 6'1" and the total when I was 5'7", and let's compare the two to see how much do you get nerfed if you are short on an online dating app. Alright guys, so we already have day one complete. I made this account on Friday morning, and I am checking it now Saturday morning, and I'm going to be taking screenshots like throughout the week of anything that I get. Because I might need to blur some people out because I don't want to be putting on people's profiles on blast. I know other people do it, but I'll try and keep this like pretty good, be a good guy and do that. So what I did is I liked 5 people myself, and I didn't get any of them back yet, which makes sense. It's only been 24 hours. So either they didn't see it or they just swiped it away. But I did get 5 likes back from people, and 2 of those are roses, which are like the one a week that you get. So that's pretty good. That's off to a decent start. When I did match with people, so I clicked like on people's profile, I tried to make it the first 5 girls that I see, but there's some profiles that are just a bit like odd, or like if the girl's like really clapped, like I kind of just don't want to like that. But I also don't want to introduce too many variables into this, so I'll try my best to like the first 5, but if the profile is like super odd, then I'm not going to do that. But these are day 1 results. Day 2 results are in. We now have 8 likes, 4 of them being roses, so a much higher percentage of those super likes compared to what I usually get. And then also, out of the 10 people that I have liked, 1 of them has matched back with me, and they actually sent the first message to me, which is always a good sign. So I sent the message back. They replied pretty fast. I sent the message back like an hour later. Haven't gotten anything back, but I will keep you guys posted on that because I want to see if there's a big difference between how people actually interact with you when there's like when you have a taller profile. I had a quick side tangent that I wanted to include in this video, and that's that I see a lot of guys who are above average in looks and above average in height not getting very many matches, or as many matches as they should. And one of the big reasons for that is because their pictures are just garbage. They're all like selfies, mirror selfies, front-facing selfies, because they have no photos of themselves in their camera roll. And there's 2 ways to fix this. Number 1, you go for a photo shoot, which can work and is better than nothing. But number 2 is way better, where you're just going to social events, going on trips, being outside of the house. And there you ask your friends to take photos with you, or you ask people to take photos of you. It might seem a bit awkward at first, but you got to take that step if you want to get the results. What's also nice about this is you're likely to meet friends and girls at these social events, which makes you even less reliant on a dating app. And it gives you an edge because, you're actually meeting the person in real life, and you probably have mutual friends or hobbies with this girl, which brings you in a little bit more. And so right now we are at day 3 with 12 likes, 5 of them being roses, and still that only 1 match that we got yesterday. I'm a little surprised, to be honest, because this is pretty typical for what I get at my 5'11" profile. And so it kind of leads me to believe that there's like a certain cutoff for height that if you're above that, you're just deemed like good, in the good pile. And then take a look at like the rest of your stuff, like what you do for fun, how you look, and like your job, because those are really the only things that you can show on a dating app, which is why, I recommend you make sure you get your real life dating sorted as well. All right, the day 4 results are in, and we finally have our second match. As for the likes, we have 15 likes, and 6 of them are roses. Again, pretty typical for what I would get before. But the prompt that's really carrying us hard is the music one, because I luckily have the same music taste as like the people that have moved to the chat area, so my matches. And it's very easy to get people off of the platform when you have like a common thing, and you're able to send like more flirty text. So like one of them that you can use for the music one is like, I know what music we're going to listen to when I pick you up. And with that, and like obviously, with my photos and whatever else matches between us, I've been able to get my first match off of the platform, which is like more of a success than actually matching, because just because you match with somebody, like I would say like 5% of the time, like something could actually come out of that. So this actually goes to show that it's like a little bit a step above just a match. And that's one of the reasons I have to tell you guys to not just maximize your dating profile, but be outside most of your day, because this is just one part of what your dating life should consist of. All right, so day 5, final day. Unfortunately, no interesting results. None of the likes or the roses changed. It's probably because I checked day 4 at night, and I'm checking now in the morning to make sure it's 5 full days. We did get one more match. I'm not sure if that match was in the timeline, because it could have happened a little bit after the 5 days. Because now what I'm doing is I am pausing the profile, and I am letting it, sit there for a few days, make sure none of the old likes I did are going to carry over to the 5'7" experiment, and then I'm going to do the experiment again. I'm curious what you guys think will be the final result, considering, we had 15 likes, 6 roses, and 2 to 3 matches. What do you guys think the results will be for the 5'7" profile? Put it in the comments below. I'm curious what you guys think. Okay, so let's see what the 5'7" profile has. I did take a quick look in the first hour, and there was actually one like, and it was a pretty good one. It was pretty attractive, and it said something along the lines of like, "You're the man of my dream." So that's pretty good for the 5'7" guys. But now that it's been more than 24 hours, probably closer to 36, let's see what we got. Ooh, so it's a grand total of 2 matches, which compared to the 6'1" profile had 5 matches, 2 of them being like the roses, like the super likes. Not looking the best for the 5'7" profile, but let's see if this trend continues. All right, so it hasn't been a full 24 hours yet, but I checked again, and it's still not looking good for the 5'7" profile. We only have 2 likes, and only 1 of the 10 people that I matched with has matched back with me. I didn't get a reply back from that person, unlike when I had the 6'1" profile. They messaged to me, but I did message them back. Let's see if we get anything back and how the conversation changes depending on the height. The day 3 update for the 5'7" profile, pretty quick because I'm trying to go to sleep, and also surprisingly not much has happened. We still only have 2 likes and 2 matches. Luckily, the 2 matches have moved off of the actual Hinge platform, which is like a really good sign. Meaning that, like, at this point you could like plan a date or something like that. But I'm pretty shocked at this point. For the 6'1" profile, we had about 12 likes, and that we're not even halfway there. So we still have day 4 and 5 left. I'm curious what's going to happen. I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comments below, but I'll update you when the time is. Alright, the day 4 results are in, and we now still only have 2 matches and 4 likes in total, which is kind of surprising. The 2 matches we have are basically done with. Luckily, they were like good, solid matches that like you were able to get off of the app pretty easily, kind of like how I mentioned yesterday. The only thing that I wanted to kind of bring up for today, which I found was kind of funny, is that the girls that I matched with in the 6'1" profile were very diverse. Like, it was basically every race. Also because the city I'm in is kind of diverse, but yeah, it was basically every race, versus in this current profile, most of them have been of my own race, like a South Asian background. So like, it's kind of funny because you do see online that like Indian people and like South Asians are viewed as like the most like unattractive, and people can have their own thoughts. I'm like not against that whatsoever. But the thing is, I feel like once you have a lot of things going for you, like you have a good career, you look good, and at least on a dating app, like you're above a certain height, That's the unfortunate part about a dating app, is like there's only a few things that you can show, versus in real life you could show other aspects of your life. But what I'm trying to get is, if you hit enough of the check boxes, like it really doesn't matter what race you are, in my opinion. And like I've seen so much proof of that, like from other people, but also in myself. Because I did have like a lot of these limiting beliefs that being like South Asian was like really holding me back. When in reality, it was like really good fuel for me to feel like I wanted to kind of prove something to other people, especially with all like the like hate or like negative like emotions towards brown people. I felt like, you know, there was like some sort of chip on my shoulder because of that. Still have one more day left. Let's see how it goes. But right now, 5'7" profile, it's not looking that good.
Alright guys, it's the last day of the experiment and I have the results. So, as a quick recap, in the last profile we had 15 likes, 6 of them were roses, and we had 3 total matches. Now, for this profile, we ended with a grand total of only 6 likes, 0 roses, and 3 matches as well, surprisingly.
But the thing that I find a little bit interesting about that is really there was no difference in the quality of how people like talked with you after they matched. I was able to get, you know, the first 2 from my 6'1" profile and the first 2 from my 5'7" profile off of the app, which is super key, because if you were talking and staying on the app all day, like nothing's going to move forward. You as a guy have to be the one to plan the date or like get somebody off of the app, because you know, you don't know this person until you actually, you know, meet them in real life. And the thing is, most of the people you match with, that won't happen with. What's the conclusion here though? I think my advice still stands. Get your real life dating sorted by, you know, being social, being outside of the house, finding your niche, finding what you're good at, and then surrounding your community around that. That way you can like gain status in it, and you know, you're desirable for reasons above just your looks. The nice thing about an online dating app, and why I think even if you're 5'7" and you know your matches, you will get a little bit nerfed as compared to somebody who's 6'1", because this happens in real life anyway, is because it takes very little mental bandwidth, right? You set up the profile once, you let it run, you can like people as you do, it's kind of fun, and you might get something out of it. It's not like you're going to get nothing out of it, as long as, you know, you have a certain looks threshold and your profile isn't super weird, right? So my advice still stands. Fix the social stuff in real life and then use that to fix your online dating profile. And the nice thing about it is it's like the harshest metric you'll get on how you look. And so as you improve your looks, you can actually improve your results there as well. All right. As you take more pictures, you'll improve your results there as well. And so it can kind of become like a game. And that's why it was like really addicting for me when I first started. It was like literally a game for me on how I can optimize this. Other than that, it was a really fun experiment. I don't think, you know, it's something new. I didn't discover anything new here. But I think it still goes to show that for the amount of time you put in, it's still worth being on one. If you have any other video ideas, put them in the comments below. I'd like to hear them. Other than that, hope you found it interesting. I'll see you later.